Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers. It's Luke here and it's West Ham versus Liverpool. I should have said Liverpool versus West Ham. That kicks off at 7:30 tomorrow. Remember that 7:30, so it's not an 8 o'clock, it's not a 7:45, it's a 7:30 kickoff. I believe all the games are on Amazon, so please check that out tomorrow. It's a big game. It's a free hit, as they say. Anfield, one of the toughest places to go. Listen, I've only ever seen us win once there in my lifetime, the 3-0 win back in 2015. And I think the last win before that was something like 35, 40 years ago, I believe. It was such a freak result. It's very rare we do anything up there. Last season we lost 1-0 up there, but we did beat them 3-2 at the London Stadium, which was a fantastic game of football. The games are either a real hiding or they go pretty close. I remember that a couple of years ago with the 4-0 one where we nearly beat them. I think that game finished 3-2 at their ground. So, listen, it's a free hit. They've had some funny form this season. I work with a lot of Liverpool fans. You know, they've been a bit up and down this season, a bit, negativity, and then they pull off a great result against City at the weekend, that 1-0 win with Mo Salah scoring the winner. And all of a sudden their confidence is back up, obviously on the back of the 7-1 win at Rangers as well. This is a game I'm a little bit fearful of, I'm not going to lie to you. They obviously have lost a couple of players. Mane's gone, a real threat, and definitely a player they have been missing this season. Just that constant press, that aggression, that anger. I'm quite glad we're not coming up against him. Their top goal scorer, no surprise, is Salah with Firmino behind him. Their new big signing, Darwin Núñez, hasn't quite hit the heights yet, but we know what happens when West Ham turn up. All of a sudden they turn into classic Ronaldo, Maradona, Pele all into one player. I expect him to score tomorrow, to be honest with you. It's just the way it goes. And whenever we're linked with a player as well, and then they sign for another club, they seem to score against us. And it's done that for so long in the history of me supporting West Ham that it wouldn't surprise me if he was to score. They like to play the 4-4-2. Obviously, the right back situation with Trent. Trent's been getting a lot of stick. He scored a great goal against us last year. We all know he's attacking threats. Great pass with the ball. Great corner taker. Great set piece taker. But it's definitely an area we can attack if he was to play there. He didn't play against City there. It was Milner that filled in that position. Such a servant, Milner, 37 years old, still doing wonderful things. Obviously, Joe Gomez and Van Dijk are very, very good defenders. I'm quite glad we're not playing against Konate, who is probably just slightly better than Joe Gomez, but I'm still a big fan of Joe Gomez. We know about Van Dijk. It's going to be a good battle, him against Skamaka. He did well against Haaland, so you'd expect him to do a decent job on Skamaka. But, Skamaka and Haaland are slightly different players. Haaland is the better player, but they're obviously different qualities. Sometimes, styles make fights, styles make, defenders versus attackers, and hopefully Skamaka will be able to get the better of him. Obviously, Robertson, one of the best left-backs in the Premier League, arguably, apart from Cancelo. And then obviously Harvey Elliott is sort of trying to force his way into that team now. Has been playing very, very well. Henderson and Fabinho in the centre of mid. Again, slightly ageing, could be got at if we pack that midfield out. That's an area that we could try to dominate if we could. Obviously, Carvalho will maybe play on the left-hand side. Good player, young guy from Fulham. Lots of potential, looks good, looks buzzy. Scored a good goal against Newcastle earlier on in the season. And obviously, as I say, Darwin Núñez and Mo Salah up front. They've got players, they're good threat. Like I say, their strengths are listed as set pieces, wing play. They come a lot from behind and wing games. Defending set pieces, very strong. Obviously, very strong headers resolve the ball. Creating chances, counter-attacking and protecting leads is also listed as strength. Weaknesses are defending against counter-attacks, wing play, especially the right-hand side. Through balls, they find a slight lack of pace now in that back line. Aerial duels in the middle of the park and avoiding offside is a weakness. And their style of play, we know, possession football. They like to control in an opponent's half. They camp themselves in, they pass it around a bit. Very good on the higher press as well. Play through the middle and also play down the right-hand side quite a lot. So, like I say, it's going to be a tough game. With us, just watched David Moyes' little press conference today. Says that Zuma may be okay. Obviously, he was ill. It wasn't like an injury. So he may be okay. Dawson Probably not. If they're both out, you're probably going to have the same defence that played against Southampton with Cresswell, Curra and Johnson. Makes me very nervous, that does. Even though they did okay, against better quality, they could absolutely ruin us. Will he play Sofal? Will he be brave and maybe put Ashby in there? Sofal got a hell of a lot of stick on Twitter after the game. Listen, he wasn't good in the game, but some of the criticism was a bit too much. Yes, he didn't cross the ball very well. Yes, there were some chances he let go, but we have to remember this guy has done a lot of good for us as well. But yeah, I'm not here saying he shouldn't be dropped. I do believe he's dropped. He's not playing well enough, but I don't think the criticism he got was, it's not that valid. This guy, please remember, we bought him for 5 million and he's done more than paid back that price. And then on the left-hand side, probably will be Emerson again. Needs to just pick it up a little bit. He has little spells in games where he looks really good, and then other times he doesn't look as great. My fear for this game is, Kerr's a really good defender, but he's not, he's not a stopper. He's not a Dawson. He's not a Zuma. Really, a presence and a dominance about him. And my fear is with Kerr, how many penalties do we give away at Anfield? Or whenever we play Liverpool, they always seem to get a penalty in that game. And he is rash in the challenge, and I think Salah's clever. He sticks the leg out, and it wouldn't surprise me if Kerr gives a penalty away in this game. We'll wait and see. Midfield picks itself: Rice, Soucek, and Paqueta. Give Paqueta, just give him let him do what he wants to do. He will gradually get better and better. With Bowen and Scamacca probably up top. I'd love to see him throw a curveball and play Antonio Scamacca. I don't think we're ever going to see it. But I would like to see it. I think it's something different. It's something that Liverpool possibly wouldn't expect. And it just throws that little curveball and that little, something different, that Jurgen Klopp probably wouldn't have set up for this week. We'll wait and see. We'll probably be the low block again. We sit 11 men behind the ball, and it'll be quite a boring game. But we'll wait and see. As I said earlier, last season we lost there 1-0, 3-2 win at home, which was fantastic. Last win there was a 3-0 win. My prediction for this game, I'm going to go with what most of the pundits have said, to be honest with you. I think we're going to lose it 3-1. I think just the slight defensive issues we've got at the moment, and just we're not quite finishing our chances. We're creating a lot. Like against Southampton, we did create a lot. It was misleading stats with the shots on target, because we did actually look quite threatening at times in that game. If we get an early goal, who knows? We get the first goal, we sit behind the ball and protect something. You never ever know in these games. It's a free hit, but that is what is the most disappointing thing about Moyes sometimes is, in these free hits, go for it. It's all good sitting behind the ball and and then you go 1-0 down, then what? Your game plan's completely destroyed. I much prefer us, see us go for it, and if we do lose the game, at least we can say we give it a go, and then that you can take that confidence into the next game. We'll wait and see. As I say, it's a free hit, loads of games, thick and fast. We've got tomorrow night, we've got Monday night, then we've got Thursday night, then we've got Sunday night, then we've got Thursday again. Loads and loads of games coming thick and fast, and your previews will always be here on the West Ham Free Hammers fan channel. Until next time, come on you Lions, let's go.